everybody. I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to 5 great games from 2003. As I take a look at various years in board game history and tell you about great games that came out during that time. This is 20 years ago here. And so let's get started. These are in no particular order. First, we have Amun-Re. Rainer Knizia, the designer of Amun-Re, is considered to be one of the best game designers in the world, if not the best by many people. He's definitely the most prolific, with hundreds and hundreds of games he's designed. Amun-Re is certainly one of his best. In this game, you are building pyramids in ancient Egypt. You are bidding. There's a little bit of an auction that works really well, and some card play and a bunch of different things going on, and you build up your things. Then halfway through the game, everything's wiped out, but the pyramids stay on the board that you've built, and then you auction off again. It's like a second generation. And the whole game comes together in a really wonderful way. A new version of this was just announced. Then we have Alhambra. Alhambra, which won many awards, a tile-laying game. But what's interesting about this game is there's 4 currencies. Now, I don't know what the thematic purposes of having 4 currencies is, but you're buying different tiles. But if you buy it with exactly the right amount of money, you get to make another purchase. Then when you build the tiles, there's walls, and there's some other sorts of things you're trying to get points for. The game also has a plethora, and I'm not kidding, there's more than 30 expansions for the game, or modular expansions anyway. And some of them are fantastic and add a lot of variety, but if you like the variety, it's there in Alhambra. Domaine. Most people know Klaus Teuber for designing the Settlers of Catan. But Domaine is, I think, his best work. It's actually a reworking of an older game he did called Lowenherz. But in Domaine, you are building little domains. You have these different kingdoms, and everyone is fighting. It's a very in-your-face, mean game as you're building out these domains. And you do this by selling cards to get money or by paying money to play cards. But when you sell a card, you might be giving it to somebody else who can then take that card and use it against you later on. Domaine is the only game I know where forcing peace with somebody else is one of the most infuriating things in the world. It is a fantastic game. Game of Thrones, the board game. Wow, it's weird to think that this came out 20 years ago. And this came out, the designer of this game, Christian Peterson, designed this game because he loved the books, but the books were not yet the monster hit that they were. He just had some future knowledge of this, and so he based the game loosely on the popular game Diplomacy. I'm not a big fan of Diplomacy, but Game of Thrones took that and added so much intrigue and so much other stuff to it. It is a full game. It really brings the theme to life. There was some minor tweaks and things they did with expansions, and then they made a second edition years later. But I still remember the first time playing this game. I hadn't even read the books, and the theme was just coming off the board to me. And then the last game from 20 years ago, YINSH. YINSH, a abstract game in which you're trying to get 5 in a row to pull a ring off the board. You have these rings on the board. You move the ring as far as you want. You can jump over other pieces, jump over these pieces on the board. But when you jump over pieces, you have to stop moving as soon as you get to an empty spot, and then every piece you jumped over flips. If you get 5 in a row, you remove one of your rings. So now you have less maneuverability on the board. But the first person to remove 3 rings is the winner of the game. It is a fantastic game. It's part of what's called the GIF series. It looks classic, and it just plays so well. So those are 5 great games. As a bonus, my favorite movie from 20 years ago was Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. What a fantastic movie. It's won all the Academy Awards. Now, really, this is the 3rd part in a very long movie, and I'm actually introducing these movies to my children now who have not seen them. And I still get goosebumps when the riders show up in that last battle, which was fantastic. Video game. My favorite video game from 2003? I couldn't find one. I know it's terrible, but in 2003, I wasn't playing almost any video games. So, we'll see what 2004 brings. Anyhow, those are 5 great games from 2003. What's your favorite? Let me know in the comments. I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.